Peace and love, everybody. This is AI News with Erik, and today is May 12th, 2024. And today we're talking about Norway's bold move as far as banning smartphones in schools. And I want to shout out Sinead Bovell, who actually inspired me to make this. I follow her. She's one of my sheroes. She's a futurist and she's awesome. So she's definitely one that kind of talks about, kids being able to get away from the phones and just, we have to emphasize that. So this video is actually, once again, about Norway's bold move of banning smartphones in schools. And, I'm kind of going to talk about the US adapting to this type of structure, what I'm saying, for our schools. So, Norway has definitely taken a decisive step to enhance the educational experience for their students, So over the past few years, approximately 400 middle schools across their country has implemented a strict ban on smartphone during school hours, and the results have been nothing short of remarkable. The positive impact on girls, the smartphone ban has had a crazy positive effect on girls. So here are some of the findings as far as being able to not have your phone for the 8 hours in school. Fewer psychological appointments, so girls have experienced nearly a 60% reduction in visits to the psychological specialist for mental health issues. The absence of constant digital distractions allow them to focus better and cope with stress more effectively, so it has reduced bullying. Both girls and boys benefit from the ban, with a 46% decrease in reported bullying incidents. 46%. That's a lot, So the removal of smartphones from classrooms fostered a healthier social environment, improved academic performance. So girls' GPA saw upward trend after the ban was introduced. Additionally, their chances of enrolling in academically oriented high school tracks increased significantly, So one of the things I like about it is the economically disadvantaged girls. The ban has had a greater impact on economically disadvantaged girls, leveling the playing field and definitely providing them with an equal opportunity for success, So the Norwegian's Directorate of Education's recommendations, they've been involved, they've been actively involved in shaping policies related to mobile usage and phones, So their recommendations include complete removal from classrooms, So there's, I guess it's called UDIR, UDIR. They're, like Board of Education, UDIR, advocates for a complete ban on mobile phones during classrooms. And by doing so, they aim to create a distraction-free learning environment where students can engage 100% in their studies. And I agree with that 100%. So, but you definitely got to have a balance, with technology and learning. So while we all acknowledge the importance of technology, they emphasize that schools should strike a balance, so students can still use their smartphones during recess but not during lessons. They have to be stowed away. But the thing with that is they actually have a study where the schools that don't even let them use it at recess have a higher rate of success. So I think that also has to be looked at. Like maybe that 8 hours period, you shouldn't even be worrying about it, and the kids from under them will start being trained, you know what I'm saying? So there's also broader implications. Norway's initiative raises a lot of important questions about the role of technology in education, So as we embrace AI, machine learning, and other technological advancements, we got to consider the impact on young minds. How do we strike the right balance between connectivity and focused learning? How can we ensure that students develop critical thinking skills without being constantly tethered by screens, wanting to always have your phone? And it's just it is an addiction. And I don't think a lot of people realize this. So one of the reasons I'm actually making this video is because I feel like, should the USA consider, Norway's smartphone ban, you know? So in this digital age where technology is at the key of everything, Norway definitely has pioneered an educational approach that prioritizes human interaction and focused learning. And I agree with that 100% because these phones, if you really think about it, you see babies in the strollers with phones. The parents are not interacting with the babies. The phones are controlling. You know, I seen a video where there's a phone walking a boy on a leash. You know what I'm saying? And it took kids from a treehouse. After a while, the boy's walking and loving the phone to hit the boy in the head with a rock. And he looked back at the kids in the treehouse and ended up, the phone kept trying to get him not to pay attention to them. But he ended up in the treehouse with the kids with no phone. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like by banning schools and smartphones, they've seen remarkable improvements in students' mental health, which is one of the most important things, and academic performance, which is one of the main things they're going to school for, to try to learn and be the best they can be. And, you know, in this real world, once they get out, you know, so it's a model that the US should consider as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? Not just for the benefits, but also to align our commitment to fostering inclusive and effective learning environments. You know, my case for change talks about, like, we're dealing with enhanced learning. You know, the Norwegian model has demonstrated that removing smartphones from classrooms can lead to better academic outcomes. So for the US, this could translate into higher test scores and better preparedness for higher education, you know, to be ready for the workforce. And America, from what I think and see and look at, I don't think we're where we used to be when we used to be in the top 10, you know, in the world. You know, it's not about just being good in America. And I think we're failing, especially in the urban areas. I think the education system in America is failing. And I think social media and phones have a lot to do with that. And I don't think anybody can beg to differ. You know what I'm saying? So one thing I like is it improves mental health. You know, with rising concerns about mental health in America, especially in American youth, the Norwegian approach definitely offers a proactive solution, you know. So by reducing screen time, we can alleviate stress and anxiety among students. We could create a healthier school experience. So when they get to school, they know, I'll get that later. You know what I'm saying? And one of the most important things that it has done is it reduced bullying. Smartphones can be a conduit for cyberbullying. We all know that. And these social media sites are not really caring as long as they're making money. We got to stop putting money over people's well-beings. You know what I'm saying? So by limiting their use in schools, we can definitely create a stronger, safer social environment. We can allow students to build more positive relationships with people. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely got to promote equality, you know. So in Norway, the ban has particularly been beneficial for economically disadvantaged students. You know, by adopting this model, they have been able to have like an equal training grounds. You know what I'm saying? So adopting this model in the US could bridge the educational divide, or at least help, you know, ensuring that all students have an equal opportunity to succeed. You know what I'm saying? So for me, call to action, you know what I'm saying? As our nation prides itself on innovation and progress, the USA has the opportunity to lead. You know what I'm saying? Once again, you know, we got to get to that point. You know, I'm not saying we got 100% adapt this model, because for me, we just have to take a bold step towards nurturing the next generation of thinkers, leaders, and innovators. You know what I'm saying? I know we have security issues in America where we got to deal with that. So when the phones are not in the kids' hands, if they're, you know, they can have enough discipline to have them and not just cut them on. You know, I know we deal with emergencies in America and our schools have to be safer. So we got to deal with that also. So I just want us to have create a future where education is not just about information, but just about transformation too, to make things better. So I want to say thanks for reading this article or watching the video. This is AI News with AI Erik, Eric.com. Peace and love.
AI News with AI Erik.